Fridays are awesome, especially when you join us for 10 minutes of international current events. I'm Carl Azus of the CNN Center. Our March 4th show begins with news out of North Korea. The communist country launched 6 short-range missiles yesterday. They flew about 60 to 90 miles east into the sea. It was an act of defiance, and here's why. The United Nations Security Council voted earlier this week to penalize North Korea. This organization is responsible for keeping international peace and security. Its members were angry with North Korea because in January it said it had tested an incredibly powerful nuclear bomb. And in February it said it had used a long-range rocket to put a satellite in orbit. The UN has sanctions, penalties in place to pressure North Korea to get rid of its nuclear and missile programs. Now more sanctions are coming.
To please raise their hands.
The US calls it a seismic shift in the way North Korea is dealt with. Unprecedented, groundbreaking, all the superlatives being brought out for the occasion. North Korea's response was swift. 6 short-range projectiles fired off their east coast. A clear sign the regime's not happy with the latest UN sanctions. Among the new and expanded restrictions, a mandatory inspection of all cargo going in and out of North Korea. A complete ban on small arms sales. A wider ban on luxury goods, a ban on aviation and rocket fuel, and limits on its sales of coal and iron ore. That last one, if implemented fully, could make a sizable dent in North Korea's exports. The US says coal exports alone account for around $1 billion of the country's annual income. The key to the sanctions' success is China, and how carefully it will police its almost 900-mile or 1,500-kilometre border with North Korea. Up until now, Pyongyang's main smuggling route. But the fact Beijing signed on to strong sanctions at all is significant in itself. Kim Jong-un, however, has consistently made it clear it's full steam ahead for both his missile and nuclear programs.
We fully anticipate that they will try to drive a truck through any loophole that they can find. But this resolution is so comprehensive. There are so many provisions that leave no gap, no window.
It seems the most recent earthquake to strike near Indonesia was pretty minor in terms of the damage caused. The tremor was very strong, magnitude 7.8, a major earthquake. But it was also 15 miles deep and about 500 miles from Indonesia's largest island, Sumatra. Still, it was enough to send people rushing to higher ground as tsunami warning sirens went off. This time around, no significant waves washed in. But in 2004, the island nation suffered catastrophic losses after a magnitude 9.1 earthquake hit near northern Sumatra and generated tsunamis that killed more than 200,000 people in countries all around the Pacific. Several deadly quakes have struck since then. Technology that would warn people of a quake is improving, but it has its flaws.
If you're in the epicenter of an earthquake, you're going to get no warning. There's no time for that. The warning depends on the distance you are to the earthquake epicenter. An early warning system for earthquakes is expensive and also complex. Part of the problem is we don't have a system that can predict the earth is going to move. Our warning system is based on the fact that the Earth is already moving, and then if you're farther away from that epicenter, we can give you some time to prepare. Some minor time, but some time. Unlike a tornado warning where Doppler radar can see the rotation and issue a warning before the tornado, an earthquake warning happens when the Earth is already shaking. Another limitation is how close the sensor is to the epicenter. If the sensor is 10 miles away from the epicenter, it takes 5 seconds to get to that sensor. So the more sensors we get, the better the lead time we'll get as well. If we get 10 seconds notice of an earthquake that's happening, especially a big one, you can open up the elevators on the nearest floor. You can stop trains. You can stop all those things that are moving before the shaking gets there. This entire system works because the speed of light, or the speed of the warning going down the line, is 186,000 miles per second. The Earth, as it's wiggling and shaking along, is going at 2 miles per second. So if you're 30 miles away, your warning could be 15 seconds. It's 15 seconds that could save your life.
Dodos don't have a reputation for being the smartest birds in the aviary, but new research suggests they might not have been dodos at all. Scientists scanned a dodo skull and found that their brains were probably similar in size to those of modern-day pigeons. Researchers also think they had a pretty good sense of smell, but because they went extinct in the 1600s, they didn't get the chance to earn a smarter name. Now that's random. It used to take a whole video crew and maybe a helicopter to shoot someone mountain biking on rugged terrain or snowboarding a remote slope. Smaller cameras, selfie sticks have changed things, but they can be distracting and sometimes unsafe to use while you're moving. How much of a game changer could drones be if for $50 to $150 you could get a minute-long edited video of your best skiing ever?
There's just something amazingly beautiful and eloquent about a camera in the sky. You get the totality of the landscape, you get the full subject, and there's just something magical about it. I think we're a little bit of a crossroads right now when it comes to outdoor stuff and documenting your own life. We've been playing around with GoPros for years, sticking cameras on our helmets, on our chests, selfie sticks. With all this technology, the burden on the user isn't getting any lesser. It also does sometimes, it takes you out of the moment.
Final waypoint should start right there.
So if you show up with your buddies at the mountain, you want to get filmed, it's super simple. You just walk up to the kiosk, a drone will take off at the same time that you do. You'll do 3 runs, it'll follow and film you from a couple different angles, and within 48 hours, you get that footage compiled into an awesome professionally edited video. The future that we're really excited about is one in which you can be out doing anything. Let's say you're kayaking somewhere or you're surfing, and being able to, at the push of a button, summon a drone, get that moment captured, and then have it delivered back to you within minutes. That's the goal that we're working towards, keeping the drones flying, keeping the awesome videos churning out, and creating awesome memories for people.
First time we visited Spain this year on the roll call. In the eastern part of the country, you'll find Barcelona. And on today's transcript page, we found the American School of Barcelona. Great to have you watching. In the central U.S. state of Arkansas, the city of Rogers is on our roll. The Lingle Lions are watching at Greer Lingle Middle School. And the community of Perry, Ohio is pretty close to Lake Erie. The Pirates are setting sail at Perry High School. Golf champion Tiger Woods recently opened a new course in Texas. Part of it is a par 3 designed specifically for kids, and 11-year-old Taylor Crozier was one of the first kids on it. Here's what's hilarious. Takes a really good swing, so good the ball lands right near the hole, then it rolls closer, closer, ace! The crowd went nuts! Woods gave Taylor a big old bear hug. Tiger couldn't believe it. Then he stepped up to play the hole himself. So how'd the golf professional do? He made par in 3 shots. But keep in mind, it's a small course, so Taylor's not out of the woods yet. Still, despite being pretty green, he's not a beginner. Taylor seems made for the sport after sinking his place in a really elite club. I'm Carl Azuz. We'll take another swing next week.